Hi everyone, welcome back to the second video in our IdeaCon Mini Worlds of Wonder creation kit series. This one is going to just talk about how we're going to put the entire kit together. So previously I talked about painting a mini and she's all done. She's all painted up and ready to go in her kit. Again, you don't have to paint your mini, that's not necessary, but it is fun and it adds another little layer of excitement to your little terrarium that you'll have on your desk. The first thing that we need to do is adhere her to the bottom of our glass, which is not glass, it's plastic, our plastic bowl here. And we're gonna do that just using your own basic hot glue. Hot glue again is not included in this kit, but I'm using some high heat hot glue. The reason for the high heat is because we're sticking plastic to plastic, and low heat hot glue is just not gonna become liquid enough to really stick it down on in there. But if that's all you have, it's okay. You just might need to hold your mini in place a little bit longer in the bowl before you decide to put your other stuff in. All right, let's see if my hot glue gun is hot enough. This is always the part I don't like. I expound almost every time I use hot glue on how much I'm worried about burning myself, because I've done it before and it really hurts. So I think we're in good shape though. Maybe if I can get any out of here, we'll be in good shape. My hot glue guns are just being pains recently, and so I'm sort of kind of struggling with them a bit to get out the glue. Let's see if that's enough. It might be. So I'm gonna stick my creature down into the, and it was, yay! I'm gonna stick my creature into the bowl and hold it pretty hard. I have big hands, so it's hard for me to get my hands inside of the terrarium, but I'm actually pretty pleased with being able to hold it in there. Most of you guys with smaller hands, you're not gonna have as much of a problem as I do getting my creature inside the terrarium, but there she is, she's right in the middle. You don't have to put your creature right in the middle of your terrarium, not necessary, but I like it because then you can see. These terrariums have a seam running down one or two sides of the bowl, and it's probably a good idea when you're sticking your creature in there that you don't put their face or the part you really want to look at right in front of that seam, because it does distort the view. All right, the second thing we're gonna do is add our gravel with magic rocks in it. It's roughly 1/3 of a cup of gravel, but you don't have to use all of it. Some of the minis that you're gonna get are really big. I think we've got a few Pegasus in there, a few ogres, like just some random larger minis. And you might want to cover them up with more rocks or less rocks. It's sort of an aesthetic choice. This little fairy is actually one of the smaller minis that we have in the kit, so I may not use as much rocks. I'm just gonna kind of dump them in and move them around her and sort of just see what I think looks pretty. Make sure if you can. There, I think that's good. There's quite a few little magic rocks in there. We've got some tiger's eye, and there's jasper and quartzite and some really pretty polished ones in there. And if you want to pick them out of your gravel afterwards and add them in for a little aesthetic oomph, then you're more than welcome to. So there we go. She's in there with her gravel. And then we're gonna add the moss. You guys have varying amounts and colors, but for the most part you have about this much moss. I have green, there's purple, there's teal, everything's a bit random in the kits. But it is a live moss, believe it or not. That's why it's spongy. If you were to put it in water, it would actually grow. You can tear it into pieces and put it in your terrarium. That might be fun. Let's tear this moss into a couple of little pieces and put it in there around her so that she has some prettiness to look at. So there we go, there's that. And at this point, really, it's kind of done. I did not include any glitter or anything in this particular kit, but if you picked up kits for the potion bottles or something, there is glitter in those, and if you don't use it all, in your potion bottle, you're more than welcome to put a little bit in your terrarium. And I think I might actually add a little bit of some sparkle to mine as well. This is completely optional, but if you happen to have any fun magical dust lying around, it does help bring out the sparkle. Don't go crazy. Too much glitter is never the right choice, believe it or not. And I'm somebody who likes bright colors and sparkles, but in this particular instance, it would really overwhelm what you're seeing in the terrarium and you wouldn't be able to tell what was in there. So go gentle with the glitter. All right, now we're on to the last couple of steps of making the terrarium. We're going to take the fabric that is in your kit and tie it on with the twine. So we're gonna put it around that lip. And this part is actually, I think, the trixiest part of the entire project, believe it or not. Every time I've tried this, it's taken a time or two to get the twine on. And it could be that you just need to have a buddy help you just get it tied tight. There we go. That actually went the smoothest I've ever had it go. And tie it in a pretty good knot so it doesn't come off. Obviously the glue and the gravel and stuff, the gravel isn't in there very tightly. It will come out if you twist it all over the place, and so we don't want to do that. And just having the lid on it, besides aesthetic purposes, is going to keep that gravel in there. So I have that there. I'm hoping you can see. You'll see better on your own. But I'm gonna try to move the camera here. So excuse the fact that this is going to... So there we go. You see my little fairy. She's in her house. There's some sparkles. It looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna put the camera back up on its stand so that we can finish tying the knot and tying on the tag for this. Okay, so we're gonna tie this. I've tied it in a double knot so that it doesn't come off. And then you also have a tag in your kit. The tag is to label it like this is a specimen of some kind. What I would recommend doing is cutting this extra piece of twine off. It's not necessary. You're going to use the twine that you have around the lid of your jar there to tie it on. And then on this, you can write the name of your creature. You can write something clever like a fake Latin name for your creature. I'm going to write on here that it is a common house fairy. And I'm going to use my best handwriting. Common house fairy. Just like that. And then I'm going to use the twine and just tie it on. Maybe, man. We do kind of want it to stick out a little bit. We want it to sort of look like it's like a tag if you were to say buy your terrarium at a terrarium shop for funny little magical creatures. And you can also kind of adjust your cloth. You can even cut it. If you think that your cloth is too big for the top of your terrarium, and I kind of feel like mine is, you can cut it. I have pinking shears. You do not need pinking shears for this part, but I'm actually going to trim up the lid here. Once you get it on, so that you can see your creature inside. Again, you do not need to have pinking shears like I do to do this. Not necessary whatsoever. All right, and then with your, just cut off the twine there, and terrarium is completed. So I'll move the camera again and you'll be able to see the terrarium just in its finished glory. I hope that you guys enjoy making these. There it is. Pretty cute. I hope you guys enjoy making these creature terrariums, these little mini worlds of wonder with us. Thanks for participating in virtual IdeaCon. We're sad we can't get to see you in person. Me and the entire IdeaCon crew, we love having you all into the building. We love seeing your costumes and showing you cool games and new things in fantasy literature. And so we do miss you, but we're very excited to be able to bring this to you virtually this year, and we can't wait to see you guys next year, hopefully in person. Until I get to talk to any of you guys again, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep making. Can't wait to see you back in the building at some point. Have a wonderful day.